Oh, thank goodness. Finally worked this time. Oopsie, backwards opening here. Let's pop this up, and we'll pop this up. What happened there? Oops. All right, this first. Volume's up. Bear with me a second. What's going on here? What is going on? That's not it. That's it. This happened the other day too. I had no sound. Am I in solo? No, I'm not. Let's just grab the wind. Grab the live wind here real quick. Okay. Okay, I got sound. Why do I not have connection with connection here?
Ready when you are, Captain.
Hey, there he is. All right, let's just pop to a daytime time here. And I'm going to end that. Okay, so question came up. One of the pilots asked, he had a problem with the SID. I'm assuming it was the 220 knot restriction on, what is it, 220 at, I can't remember what SID it is that I'm thinking of right now, but at any rate, the question came up about basically kind of takeoff procedures, right? Slide over mode. Let me just I'm going to send this stream. Bear with me a second. So this is going to be about takeoffs, okay? We're going to talk about takeoff procedures. And I'm going to talk about slide over. So obviously, I just drag in-flight assistant up from the dock here, right? Drag it up, put it there, and then there it goes. And then it comes back, and then it goes away. This little handle at the top here, right? That little handle thing. I could also pull down on that if I wanted to close it, but I don't want to close it. So setting up 10 left, just take off out of Palm Beach here. I'm going to load the aircraft up to max weight.
Flight attendants, take your
On
seats
runway
for takeoff.
10 left.
Get the
Flaps.
speed down here.
Flaps.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sean, and on behalf of the entire crew, I would like to welcome you aboard.
62.
They've just closed the aircraft doors, so at this time, I would like to
more
ask you to
luggage.
turn any mobile phones and tablets you may have with you to airplane mode. Please find your seats, fasten your seatbelts, and put your tables to the upright
This is
position.
almost like we're going
Flight
up.
attendants, armed doors for departure, cross-check and report. Thank you.
Should have gone on like 168 because I'll assume it's a cross country or whatever. So 170,000 pounds for takeoff. We have a loaded A320 here. Going to stick in a flight plan. This thing's going to start squawking flaps at me.
On runway 10 left.
Yes, I realize that. We have a Carmen, Ryder, RBAC. Right. Slides. Really? Slides. And then we shoot out to Amanda. And then we cook north. Not newbie. Amy newbie. Oh, it's way over here, isn't it? Aldo. Whatever. We're not going to make it to Amanda. Right? So one more time for the slide over. It goes like this. Slide up. You slide your dock up. Pull the app up. Drop it in. And slide it over. So I'm going to pull my V-speeds not off a sim brief today. I normally would. I'm just going to use the generic with no wind speeds from Infinite FMC, right? So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop up procedures and policies, and we'll talk about this real quick while I look up the speeds briefly. So you can take a look at this screen here. We're going to have takeoff speeds. I'm punching these up right now. So we're MTOW, and we're going to do a flaps 1 because we get a nice long runway. So 170,000 pounds. I just want to have this ready to go on the phone. I'm trying to make this a quick stream. Okay. So generally speaking, we would use the SimBrief OFP for takeoff numbers, right? Screenshot this, be easier. I can highlight things, right? So generally we would use the SimBrief JetBlue OFP for takeoff numbers, right? I'm going to post this stuff in the Slack so guys can see it. So we're initially going to pitch to a maximum of 7.5 degrees or 9 degrees, depending on which aircraft we're in. Okay, we're going to hold that until positive rate. Keeping in mind, right, after positive rate, we're going to rotate to 12.5 to 18 or 20, depending on the aircraft, okay? We can get up to 20 degrees with the 190. 18's about what you want on the 320, and it's going to depend on your weight. Everything's going to depend on your weight and what's going on. Can I put this down here? That's good. That's out of the way. I like that. Does that do? There we go. Right? Keep in mind, in-flight assistant, while it's a great app, it's slightly delayed, okay? So you got to watch your vertical speed indicator to know, if you got a positive rate or not. Get that gear up, okay? After you get the positive rate, get your nose going up to 12.5 to 18 degrees in an A320 and 12.5 to 20 degrees in an E190. You're going to, the most important thing, don't ask vertical speed. Please, if you've been at virtualBlue for longer than 5 minutes, you should know this. On takeoff, you're going to pitch to hold V2 plus 15. We have an app, it's called, or a website, web app, it's called infinitefmc.com. It will give you generic takeoff numbers that don't account for wind. I recommend using the SimBrief JetBlue OFP for takeoff numbers, but if you don't have them, you just use Infinite FMC. It's no big deal, right? So hold V2 plus 15, that's your pitch 4 speed, right? And you hold that by maintaining pitch until 1,500 feet AGL, unless otherwise specified in a SID or a noise abatement departure procedure, right? At 1,500, you're going to pitch your nose down a little bit. You're initiating a positive speed trend. You're looking for 8 to 10 degrees. Once you get that speed arrow going upwards, reduce your thrust between 3 and 7%. That's what we found works. And that's such your climb power, right? At S speed in the 320, 321, or VFS in the E190, retract your flaps to 0, right? If you're doing a flaps 2 or 3 takeoff, it's a terrible line. Retract to flaps 1 above F speed once you're above 800. You're going to go bombing by F speed most of the time before you reach 800. Like your V2 plus 15 is probably going to be above F speed unless you're really heavy. Right? So now we've got our thrust reduced. All we got to do is maintain our nose at 8 to 10 degrees until we reach 250 knots. At 250 knots, we're going to engage the auto thrust by punching in, and we're just going to punch the button like that. Just boom, auto thrust. It's a good idea to punch in and punch out the speed. Okay, I'll do a separate stream on that for takeoffs and landings. It's important to punch in and out in the E190. The A320 can maintain. You're only losing 1 or 2 knots speed usually, but keep an eye on it. If you punch it in and punch it out, then worry about losing 10 to 15 knots below your target speed because of the infinite flight auto throttle not catching up. It's easier to punch in and out. It's more smooth, and she keeps tweaking the throttle, so hopefully it'll be fixed. All right, so let's go. We'll jump in and just do a quick takeoff
on
in the
runway
A320.
10 left.
Okay, I'm going to set my V speeds for 170,000 pounds here. So my V1 is 146, so I'm going to set 141 in here, 141, always 5 knots before in in-flight assistant. Rotating at 152, and then 154 is V2, so we're going to set 169 for pitch. We're going to pitch for a speed of 169. So I'm going to go up here, 24, 60, 80, 60, 70, 69. So my target is going to be somewhere right around between this hash and this hash,
On runway 10
right?
left.
12.5 to 18 degrees, right? 15 would be best, and I'm going to be looking to put the yellow speed triangle in the blue speed triangle, right? And just hold that. This is a max weight takeoff, so I'm just going to pop in the heading here for the runway heading. Let me get my nav on arc. So let's do this, right? Make this a quick stream, or try to make it a quick stream. What am I forgetting here? Flaps 1. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
And use about 28%, 29. Ooh, that's
On
a little
runway
too much.
10 left.
Use about 20, use 30 right now. We're heavy. I'll just try to be gentle on the rotation. Just sat down, so I'm going to recalibrate. Okay. So brakes coming off.
And ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
I'd like to
wanna do
ask
that.
you to direct your attention to the monitors above as we review the
Sorry.
safety procedures. Even if you're a frequent flyer, please give it your full attention. Thank you very much. When the seatbelt sign illuminates,
I'm looking
you
for
must
the
fasten your seatbelt.
Atlantic route here.
Insert the metal fittings one into the other, and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your belt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, as we may experience turbulence. There are several emergency exits on this
runway
aircraft.
10
Please
left.
take a moment now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor level lighting will guide you towards the exit. Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be detached and used as a life
Now I
raft.
gotta know.
Oxygen and the air
Filmed so
pressure
much.
are always being monitored. In
Excuse
the
me.
event of a decompression,
Sorry, gotta
an
wait for the
oxygen
old,
mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you.
lens.
Place it firmly
Count,
over your nose and
lens,
mouth,
snabs,
secure
MC.
the elastic band behind your head, and
See
breathe
low.
normally. If you're traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first, and then assist the other person.
On runway 10
In the event of
left.
an emergency, please assume the bracing position as displayed. A life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between your armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Slip it over your head, pass the straps around your waist, and adjust at the front. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord, only when leaving the aircraft.
We are not going to make it
If you
that
need
far.
to refill the vest, blow into the mouthpieces.
Just do a
Use
quick
the
flight
whistle
control
and light
check.
to attract attention. Your seat cushion can be used as a flotation device. Pull the cushion from the seat, slip your arms into the strap, and hug the cushion to your chest.
Flight spoilers,
We remind
landing
you that
spoilers,
this is a
extended,
non-smoking
spoilers
flight.
retracted.
Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located
On
in the
runway
laboratories
10
is
left.
prohibited by law. You'll find this and all the other safety information in the card located in the
Okay,
seat
here we
pocket
go.
in front of you. We strongly suggest you read it before takeoff. If you have
Stabilizing
any
at
questions,
50.
please don't hesitate to ask
Stable.
one of our crew members.
Gonna go to
We wish you all an enjoyable
93
flight.
on the N1. .5, 100 knots. We got to be set by 100 knots. Close enough. 92.4.
100 knots.
It's checked. Okay, back pressure's coming out.
V1. Rotate.
Pulling back. Pulling back. A little bit of rudder. There it is.
Positive rate.
Retract gear.
Gear up.
Okay, now I'm pitching up. Look, notice the speed's dropping back, right? Notice that speed's dropping back. Right? So I'm just going to let it stabilize at that speed. Now we're heavy, so I'm fully expecting 12.5, right? Maybe a little more than 12.5. We'll hold it, right? I'm looking for 1500 here in a minute. See that? Just pitching a little bit here. Maintaining this. Okay, 1520. Nose down. Positive trend. Gonna go to like 89. Gonna reset the auto thrust. Nope, too much. Right, notice I'm not turning it in. right? Not turning it on yet. Now my speed for flap retraction is going to be 214 knots, right? And I'm just going to keep that nose between 8 and 10 degrees. And I was looking for 88. There we go. Oh. Looking for 214 now. Flaps, 0 degrees.
Flaps up.
I see that speed start coming up, and I'm going to have to put a little back pressure in. Now we do two things actually when we hit 250 knots, right? Right, we're going to do two things here. We're going to punch the auto thrust, and I forgot to talk about vertical speed. Okay, so we're coming up on 250, right? Okay, here it is. Boom, right? And then I punch the vertical speed. And I will maintain this vertical speed, right? I'm going to maintain this vertical speed till I hit 10,000. Okay, once I hit 10,000, I'm going to kind of repeat the process a little bit, right? And this is so, unfortunately, the way the Infinite Flight auto thrust is set up, it's set up so that if I was to speed to set this to 300, it's going to jam it to 100%. That's not how the real plane would work. It would, if I was in a real Airbus and I set 300 knots, it would pitch me down, depending on which mode I was in. It would pitch me down or add power, depending on if I was in a managed climb or an open climb. So once we hit 10K, I'll show the, going to neutralize my trim. Once we hit 10,000, I'm going to show the acceleration. About another minute to go. Way off course. I just stuck that flight plan in there just for this. Okay, we're going to go 10,000, and coming up on it right about now, 500 to go. Okay, here we go. 10,000, landing light off. We're going to go auto thrust off. Reduce vertical speed, bump the power, right? Get that positive speed trend again, and we're going to set 300 as a target. Obviously, I'm very heavy. I'm 96% load, so it's going to take more thrust to get to where we need to be. And you're going to see the trim coming rolling right off of it too. SimBrief will give you a top of climb waypoint, right? And you want to adjust your vertical speed. Once you hit 300 knots, adjust your vertical speed to hit that. I'm going to hit direct. I'm going to go direct to lens, right? And let's just say, for instance, right? Just say, for instance, that lens in 26 minutes is going to be my. It's not a good waypoint to use. Let me see if I can find something closer. right? Direct to IBID. Okay, so say IBID's my top of climb, right? It's not, but just say SimBrief gave me IBID as a top of climb, right? Okay, punching in 300 knots, stabilizing out here. Okay, so we got 13 minutes. Let's say we were going to flight level 350. So we have 12:55 to go. We're going to take 12:45. So 12:45, we're at 14,260. Okay, so 35,000 minus 14260 divided by 12.75. I would need a vertical speed of 1626.7. So 1,627 feet per minute to hit that top of climb waypoint at 35,000 feet. So that's how you do a takeoff, accel, and takeoff, accel, right? And a calculation for top of climb in the A320. We're going to show the E190 now. Actually, what I'm going to do right quick is I'm going to show the punch in, punch out on the auto thrust. I should do a separate stream on it, but I just want to show it real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to level out at, say, 17,000 or 16. Should be 17 because we're going northbound. See that? That's no good. You never want that to happen. You never want it to hit 100%. 1,000 to go. So I'm going to show a speed reduction here. I'm not really sure the best way to do it. Is there an airport we can use? No, not really. Or, we go to swamp. Maybe swamp. Freeway.
In a few moments, the flight attendants will be passing around the cabin to offer you hot or cold drinks, as well as a snack. Alcoholic drinks are also available at a nominal charge. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
All right, so say I want to go to 250 at swamp. So I put this in, right? It's going to do it right now, even though, right? So it just set me to 250. Now watch this, right? This is the new A320 and Infinite Flight 19.4, okay? So we're dropping, say we're descending, right? Say we're descending on down. I won't lose anything if I'm descending, but that's not a good way to do it, actually. Say we're descending slow enough to still be losing speed, right? We're descending nice and slow. Now watch this. The new A320, it will catch you without jamming it to 100%. She did a fine job on it, right? The old way, what we would have to do is, now watch, it's going to catch it right now. Okay, so right there, I lost 2 knots off the speed I was looking for. Big deal. If I was in the A321, I would have lost a lot more. And in the E190, I would have been, it gets to the point of stall. So let's do a takeoff from 10 left in the 190.
Flight attendants,
On
take your
runway
seats for
10
takeoff.
left.
Do this.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Flaps.
my name is
Too
Sean,
late.
and on behalf of the entire crew, I would like to welcome you aboard.
All right, well, am I
They've
going to
just
get the
closed
welcome?
the aircraft doors.
So
at this time, I would like to ask you to turn any
99
mobile phones and
passengers.
tablets you may have with you to airplane mode. Please find your seats, fasten your
Usually have
seatbelts, and
about
put your tables to the upright
10,000
position.
max.
Flight attendants, armed doors for departure, cross-check and report.
So let's
Thank
say
you.
we're taking off at 101,000 pounds here. I'm going to grab my V-speeds for the E190. And I'm just going to demonstrate the takeoff. It's a little bit different, so we're going to go flaps 10 for takeoff.
On runway 10 left.
Sorry, flaps 2. Right. So 101. So we got 131 for V1. 131. Rotating at 39. And then we're V2 143, pitch for 158. So we're going to look for 158. There we go. So we'll set 158 in here. 58.
On runway 10 left.
Flaps 10.
Flaps 10 degrees.
So 194 is the final segment. Alright, not even going to set a flight plan. Just going to climb to 5,000 and kind of try to show this. Recalibrate. I use about 20% to 25% in the 190. This is a tricky plane. I'm a little rusty. So 50% stable. Usually use about 90% N1, 92% N1. I'm sorry, it winds up being 80%. Up to 101 is what we use, I believe. 100.
100 knots.
That's checked.
V1. Rotate.
Oh, I hate this plane.
Positive rate.
Retract gear.
Gear up.
Alright, so we're going to pitch up to 20 degrees to hold. Alright, so they're right there, we're at 18. Alright. So right in there, we want to stop the speed reducing. You know, if you're 1 or 2 knots off, that's fine. Okay, 1500. There we are. Get that nose going back down. Positive trend. And the thrust is, I mean, the plane needs a rework. It is what it is. So 194 is what we're looking for. Flap 7 degrees.
Flap 7 degrees.
Flaps 0 degrees.
Flaps up.
What's that? Alright, looking for 250 up here. Alright, remember what we're going to do at 250 here. Okay. Punching it in. Punching it in, right? And that can be lowered. That's ridiculously high. So I'm going to set 9,000 here. And I'm going to lower the speed. And then I'm going to show speed targeting on this plane. It's quite a bit different. Okay, so punch in, maintain until you hit 10,000. Once you hit 10,000, lower your nose again, turn your auto throttle off. Actually, you know what? I'll go up to 11,000 just to show the. Just want to show the acceleration on this plane. Give it 270. Oh, I hate that. Preset headings, anybody? Okay, landing lights come off, right? So now, auto thrust off, reduce your climb rate, bump your thrust a little bit. Let this start accelerating naturally up here. Right, let that speed roll right on up. And we would be going 290. Okay? We're never going to accelerate by using the auto thrust unless it's absolutely necessary. Alright, okay, here it is. Punch it in. Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate the speed targets here. I'm going to try to get into some waypoints. Okay, that's direct sands. And then Kasky. So that'll give me a 2-step. Alright, so say we want Kasky at, I don't know, 220, 8,000. It's a bad idea. Now here's a good example of don't do this, right? Watch this. It's gonna jam me down. See that? Down here. Okay, now we need some spoilers.
Extended.
And even that might not work. Right? So be careful what you do with in-flight assistant. I might not make this. Oof, barely. Need another waypoint here. Okay, so it's looking for 220. So I turn my spoilers off, that's fine, right? But I just want to show you have to pay attention to the speed in both the E190 and the A321. You can lose way too much speed, and it can become a problem for you. Alright, so it's looking for 220, right? So watch this. 220, 219, 18, 17, 16, 16, right? So the better way to do that, right? Let's put in 210, or we'll put in 190 for Kasky, right? So the better way to do this, right? Better way to do this, and say you're level, say you're on approach, right? Better way to do this, okay? Better way to do this is watch your speed. Okay, we want 190. Okay, I'm gonna punch it out. It's gonna activate again, right? Punch it out and let Infinite Flight Assistant activate it again, right? All right, say I didn't have a restriction in. Say I just want to say I needed to do 170 until final approach. I need
flaps 7 degrees.
So, okay, I'm setting 170. It's in my window. 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay.
Flaps 10 degrees.
Okay, that's the punch in and punch out on the auto thrust. If I was at landing weight, I would maybe make a landing to show you how bad I am at this point. But I hope that kind of shows takeoff and acceleration procedures properly. And if there's any questions, ask them in the Slack. Have a great night.